This week we're with Mary Anzur, who teaches 9th grade world history at ASU Preparatory Academy. And Ms. Anzur, you're actually one of the veterans at ASU Preparatory Academy. How long have you been here?
I subbed in a 7th and 8th grade classroom last spring.
So this is your second school year, at least
yes.
Second part of a school year. And so what are your students working on this year in world history?
This year we're doing sort of an abbreviated look at world history, but going very in depth. We started with before what led up to World War I, so the factors leading to World War I, and we're currently working our way through a depth study into Germany in the 1920s and 30s, going through World War II, and then we will finish the year looking at the United Nations all the way up to the 2000s. So heavy on the Cold War and communism to finish us out in the 2000s.
Important things for students to know.
Yes.
And at ASU Prep we have the Cambridge curriculum. Could you talk a little bit about the approach to teaching world history under the Cambridge curriculum as opposed to what you might find at other schools under different, more traditional curriculum?
Yes, that's a very good distinction to make. Traditional history, the way I was taught history, is very much rote memorization, facts and dates and who people are. Very few connections are made, and the way the Cambridge curriculum has us teach the history is to have students experience the information, make connections, understand the undertones and the concepts that have changed history throughout time, where students have to know facts, they have to understand who people are and what happened, but they really need to know the cause and effect and how things have changed over time. Today I had a student who said, but wait, if this hadn't happened, if Hitler had gotten a life sentence, would World War II have ever happened? So they're starting to understand that there are isolated points in time that could have changed everything in the way our history has worked. And those are some of the fun and exciting things that having kids think about critically about what our history is very different than how I was taught history, and just these are the people, here's how we memorize and pass a test later. Right,
that's good. And another thing I wanted you to talk about, since you are one of our freshman teachers, and some of the parents that might be watching this are parents of our younger students. In the 9th grade in the high school we have what are called Capstone Courses. Could you talk a little bit about what those are and how they work at ASU Prep?
Yeah, absolutely. The Capstone is a distinctly unique sort of experience for our students where they're taught, freshman year they're focusing on leadership, philosophy, developing their own leadership, and we're working with Ashoka Youth Venture to help these students become change makers in their community. And it's a really cool opportunity for 14 and 15-year-olds to look at their community and identify ways that they want to change it and be that change that they want to see. I think many freshmen feel that they don't have the power to make change in their community or even in their world, school, or smaller. So to be able to let our students work in a safe environment with their classmates in a structured way where they experience who they are, what they believe in, and how they can change that is just a profound opportunity for freshmen. And as they grow through high school, they'll focus on different areas, economics and innovation and community, all the pillars of ASU Prep Academy. And it's a great way for them to really hunker down and learn how they can change things and make a difference in their world that's meaningful to them and meaningful to their community.
Good. Another thing I wanted you to talk about, you mentioned you were here for part of last year. Well, what's your teaching experience like before coming to ASU Preparatory Academy?
I spent a semester at North High School teaching juniors English. So I made a huge switch from English to teaching history, but it gives me a good perspective on humanities and how English and literature can help influence the history classrooms and vice versa.
And what are some of the things that you like to do in your free time when you're not teaching?
I'm not teaching, thinking about teaching, as well as I love to write. My bachelor's degree is in creative writing, so I love writing and reading books. I do, when I get a chance, like to do exercise outside, but it's been less and less of an option lately. And I do love to travel. World travel is probably one of my favorite things to do.
Well, there's certainly a reason why you're one of the mentor teachers for our 9th grade teachers here, because anyone just has to spend a few minutes in your classroom to see you're a great teacher and you really keep your students engaged, and we're very happy to have you here.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Thank you.